Big City anymore.
You be running, you keep running, babe. You be running, you keep running, babe. You be running.
Hello everyone, Naci here at Your Pro Kitchen. I am super excited today because I'm going to share with you a recipe in which I get asked for most often by friends, family, and even people on the street that I meet. So what I'm going to share with you is my recipe for Lumpia Shanghai. It has taken me many years to perfect this recipe. Everybody's recipe is different, but this is one that I have been working on for a very long time, and now I am so excited to share it with you, and because I know that you can make it too. So let's start off with the ingredients that you need. What you will need is 3/4 of a bunch of parsley, 1 1/3 pound of carrots, 3/4 of an onion, half a bulb of garlic, 1 can of water chestnuts, a pound of ground turkey, a pound of ground pork, and then for the seasonings you need oyster sauce, black pepper, and salt. You would probably have to go to the Asian store or an international market to get spring roll wrappers, but you'll need spring roll wrappers, of course, to wrap the filling to make your actual lumpias. This batch right here is the smallest batch that you can make at home, but I'll tell you what, I have made 12 times this much, and so this is the foundation of making hundreds and hundreds of lumpia. Before you make the filling, I do want to also talk about the kind of equipment that you need to have, which will make your life a lot easier. One would be a food processor. This is a very inexpensive food processor. This one's only like $35. You need one of these to be able to chop up all the vegetables. A melon scooper, and I use a 1½ tablespoon melon scooper because this helps with portion control. Because I don't know about you, but if you've had different people's lumpias, sometimes they're this big, sometimes they're this thin, sometimes they're that big. This really helps with portion control. And then lastly, a brush. This brush will help with helping when you're wrapping the lumpia to help put some sort of sealant to close off your roll. What I usually use is an egg bath, and so this brush is something that you really need. Alright, so you have the ingredients, and now you have the equipment that you'll need to get started. So let's get started with doing the filling and preparing the filling. What you need to do is you need to first work with your vegetables. Chop up the parsley, chop up your carrots, your onion, your garlic, and open your can of water chestnuts and put it all in one big bowl. When I say chop it up, you don't actually have to chop it up in very small pieces, because when you're putting it in that big bowl, you're actually preparing it to make this one big vegetable batch to then start putting it into your food processor. Once you've chopped up all your vegetables and put it in that bowl, place all of them in the food processor and pulsate the food processor. You want to pulsate it just enough to where the vegetables are all mixed up in little finely chopped pieces that would then be used to mix in with your meat. Sort of like a meatloaf type of cut. You know, all the vegetables and onions and garlic that's in there usually is pretty finely chopped. Once you're done with chopping all of your vegetables in the food processor, then in that bowl, what you have to do is just put your meat in there. Put your ground turkey, put your ground pork, then add your salt, your pepper, and then your oyster sauce. Now there's one other ingredient that I forgot to mention after you have all of that in the bowl. The one ingredient that I forgot to mention is an egg. You have to add one egg. You have to add one egg in that mix because that will help bind the meat together, just like a meatloaf, just like it. And then voila, you have your filling. Mix it up real good. Make sure you mix it all up real good because what you need to do is make sure that all your veggies and your meat are pretty much well distributed. You can use your bare hands. You can put food gloves on and kind of get in there and mix it as best as you can. And then you'll have this wonderful aromatic combination of meat and vegetables that will be so delicious when you create your lumpia. So the key thing about preparing lumpia is that it's not very difficult, it's just time consuming. So what you want to do to make your time more effective is ultimately make the lumpia filling first, and then just put it away in the refrigerator and prepare to do the wrapping the next day. That way you give some time to do it, and then also you can make your wrapping experience fun. Make it a party. Invite some friends. Invite friends, family, people. That's how it works. Because you need people to help you out if you're going to make hundreds and hundreds of lumpia. This particular batch, you'll need 4 packages of lumpia wrappers, and that makes about 85 uncut rolls, which is basically about 170 lumpia. That's a lot of lumpia. So again, invite some friends over. So I'm going to show you how it's done now. We have the filling that we just made, right? This one I pre-made and made it yesterday and put it in the refrigerator, and we are ready to roll. Are you ready to roll? We're ready to roll. So the first thing you have to do is separate the wrappers. These wrappers were defrosted, and it only takes like 30 minutes for it to defrost from the freezer. And what you have to do is actually separate every single one of these. So if you have somebody really young that wants to be a part of the whole lumpia experience, this is a great roll for them. Or maybe somebody who has not wrapped lumpia before, but they want to be a part of it, have them first be the separator. It's sort of like the low person on the totem pole kind of thing, or the low man on the team learning how to do everything. This is what they have to do. They have to separate it. You have to separate the wrappers so that they don't break, and then you just set it aside. So see? So you have somebody doing that while you have somebody else rolling the lumpia. All right? So that's just an example of how you have to separate the wrappers. Now for actually rolling it. I've separated a few of these, and I will show you how it's done. What you do is you lay your wrapper down on your board, or a cutting board, or some sort of flat surface. You take your handy dandy melon scooper, and you take some of the filling, and you flatten the edge so you know it's exactly about how much you need, okay? Put it about 1/3 of a way up your wrapper, and use your bare hands and spread them out. Spread it out into a little line. See that? Almost like a little sausage of yummy goodness. All right? After it's spread out like that, fold it over, and then you want to kind of hug the filling. So, you know, lumpia is made out of love. You hear that expression? Well, you want to hug that filling. And then once it's kind of tight, you want to roll the lumpia, and you have a little bit of a lip here. You take your egg bath and put it on the seam, and then let it seal up and set it aside. And there you have it. So I have wrapped these lumpias, and we are going to eat them fresh, cut them up fresh. All right? So I cut them in half. There you go. One whole order, 10 lumpias that would make you and your friends so happy. The way to cook this lumpia is to deep fry them. So here we go. Now these are fresh. We just rolled these up. But you could also just fry them straight from the freezer after you've gotten them, almost like consider them like French fries, but even better than French fries when they're frozen. So I have my deep fryer on a 350-degree heat, and we are just gonna drop some in the basket and then let them fry. All right? It's very easy in the deep fryer because all you want to do is just, all you want to do is ultimately look at the bubbles in your deep fryer, and once it stops bubbling and the lumpia floats, then you know it's ready. It's usually till a golden brown, where the wrapper is crispy and the insides, is cooked when the bubbles pretty much settle down and stop. While our lumpia is frying up in our deep fryer, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the sauce that I use. The different ones that I use, this is a sweet chili sauce. The brand that I particularly like the most is Made Ploy. It's absolutely delicious. It's like a sweet and sour sauce with a little bit of heat to it. Okay? And then this is a preferred sauce as well by many Filipinos, which is just vinegar. I use the Datu Puti vinegar, which is the cane sugar vinegar, and minced garlic. Sometimes you can add a little spicy chili or a piece of a jalapeno in there to just kind of make it spicy, or add a little soy sauce, but most of the time I just use vinegar and garlic. It's really, really good. You should try either one just to give it a try and see what it's like. Now look at our lumpia now. The bubbles have subsided. It's looking golden brown, and it's looking like it's just about ready. You can't even hardly hear it. You could see the bubbles. They're just kind of airing out a little bit at a time. That's when you know it's ready. And that's the number one thing that people always ask me is, when is the lumpia ready? Well, you know when it's floating, it's ready, and you know when those bubbles subside, it's ready. Let me just...
Yeah, that'll work.
So now we're ready to serve our lumpia. These things are super golden brown and crispy, delicious. People around here, sometimes they call them yummy sticks. But everybody knows lumpia. And this recipe, I'll tell you, is one that people do remember for sure. Again, this is my ground turkey and ground pork lumpia mixed with a number of different vegetables. It's a family recipe that I created and has been taken many years to perfect. And so I'm super happy to let you try it. And here you go. I'm gonna try some. Which sauce am I gonna do? I'm gonna do the vinegar and garlic sauce first. Inside? Inside? It's so good. Even though there's just a little bit of meat in there, it's packed with flavor. You can taste every single part of that batter or that mix. Good. Carrots. I'm gonna eat the one with the chili sauce now. So good. So good. So delicious. I know that you can make this. There you have it, people. You can do this now. You don't have to keep calling me and asking me. You can now watch this video and make lumpia on your own. So if you like it, subscribe and share this recipe to everybody that you know. Thank you and peace out. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know that you can make it too. So if you like it, comment, like, or subscribe.
And on top of the ribeye, we have more chicken wings.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's fine. I got a lot of whiskey.